All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to Lifelong Learning, the podcast where we distill lessons from ethics, ancient philosophy, psychology, self development, and overall, just ideas to help you live a happier, more intentional life, getting closer to the goals that you want to achieve. Now, who doesn't want that? I don't know who doesn't want that. If you don't want that, then, dude, I don't know what you're doing. If you don't want to be happy, if you don't want to be achieving the goals that you set out to achieve, I mean, go see a doctor or some shit. Anyways, let's go on to it. So, today we are going to be distilling something very, very crucial, and this is how to always succeed. Now, this isn't some sort of like, oh, bro, like, failure is just a mindset. You have to believe you fail in order to fail. Like, that's true, right? Like, failures are just, or, like, mistakes are just lessons, and mistakes are just wins that don't have the return on investment right now, but instead the return on investment is 10, 15, 20 years from now, right? So, for example, sure, I might fail a business right now, but I might learn lessons that keep my business afloat 10 years from now when I have another business, right? So that's besides the point. We're going to be talking about how to always succeed, right? Because I think a lot of times we talk about putting in the best effort, right? We talk about how can I put in the most effort. But sometimes you could put in the most effort and still get nowhere and still do pretty shit. Alright? And for example, you take a test, you give your test your 100%, right? For that 1 hour from 10 to 11 a.m. when you take that test, you give it 100% of brain power. And you still get a 70. Or you get a 60 or some other shit. What can you do? How do you fix that? You gave it all your effort, right? Well, sure, maybe for that 1 hour, you gave yourself 100%, you gave that test all of your effort, but did you really give all of your effort? And now we're going to dive into how to always succeed no matter what. And this idea came from the fact that I was listening to a podcast of Tim Ferriss and Shane Parrish today, similar names, right? And they were talking about the fact that Warren Buffett has a certain principle that he deals with when it comes to investing, alright? That no matter what happens in the market, whether it goes up, down, sideways, left, right, whatever, he always wins. He always makes money, or he always, misses a bad decision, or something happens. Warren Buffett always wins. And that's because he doesn't care that much about the most leverage or this or that. He just focuses on not losing money. And to not lose money is to put himself in the best position to not lose. And what do I mean by the position you put yourself in? Well, I think the best way to describe this is to go into a personal story of mine. So, 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm up early as fuck. I'm up around 4:45 to 5 a.m. And this is because I like to go to the gym early. I started doing this the past couple of weeks, and I love it. I jump out of bed around 4:45 a.m., throw on some clothes, drink my coffee, go for a little morning walk, and eat a little bit of food, just some simple carbs. Get it down the hatch. By 5:30, I'm at the gym working out. I'm there for another about 2 hours, right? Come back home, or I'm home by 7:30, read and write for about an hour, and then I'm off to work, which is my 9 to 5 job. And I'm fucking loving that routine. But I have a lot of friends ask me, dude, how the fuck do you get up before 5 a.m.? Most people get up at 5 a.m. and that's crazy. This motherfucker over here is getting up before 5 a.m. He is truly the David Goggins of David Goggins, right? The David Goggins of writing, that's me now. But I'm up every single day, and you know what? I'm going to be honest, I haven't had a bad workout in months. Actually, not even months. I don't think I've had a bad workout for like the past year. And people always ask me, like, dude, how do you not have? Because I tell them, I don't really have bad workouts. They're like, when was the last time you had a bad workout? I was like, I don't really have bad workouts. Either because I choose not to, right? I think it's kind of a mindset. Having a bad workout becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tell yourself you're having a bad workout, you are going to have a bad workout. Also, what defines a bad workout? The definition's up to you. Besides the point, I haven't really had a bad workout in a year, maybe 2 years, because I set up the systems to always have a good workout. I position myself to always have a good workout, to always be writing every single day, to have some time to read. All right? This might sound kind of odd, but like I position myself up to have success in my writing, in my workouts, in my overall quality of life. So it's not necessarily that I have to show up every single day when I go work out and put in, 100% mental effort and like overcome and battle those demons. Like, no. I love getting up early as fuck. I love showing up to the gym at 5:30 a.m. And it's honestly, this is going to sound funny, it's honestly not that hard. And the reason why the hard work isn't that hard is because I set myself up for success. Now, what does this mean? Let's really dive into it. The best way to put in the best way to put in a little effort and get a lot of results is to create your position of leverage to always win. And what I mean by that is, like, imagine this, okay? So back to the test taking example. Yes, you could put in maximum effort when you write that test, right, from 10 to 11 a.m. You're putting in 100% effort. But what could help more is everything you do beforehand, right? So say you get the 70 on the test, even though you put 100% effort from 10 to 11. Now, examine everything else around that 10 to 11. Did you study the night before? Did you get a full 8 or 9 hours of sleep? Did you eat a healthy breakfast, or did you just kind of run outside because you woke up late? Did you maybe meditate or journal that morning, kind of clearing your mind, getting ready for the test? I really believe this. Half of succeeding is simply preparing and putting yourself in the position to perform at your best. So, for example, I haven't had a bad workout in at least a year because, well, I put myself in the position to always have pretty good sleep every single night, no matter what. I put myself in the position to always have a really good mindset going into my workout because I take 2 to 3 minutes before I start lifting to just meditate, sit in the locker room, and get myself dialed in. I spend time eating healthy food, cooking healthy food, planning my meals around my workout so that I'm not scrambling for nutrition when I'm about to head into the gym. I really, really believe that if you want to perform at a high quality, if you want to have high quality results in life, you need high quality habits and high quality systems. So, for example, for me, one of the things I'm prioritizing right now is my writing. All right, everything is revolving around my writing. And the way I do this to make sure I could show up every single day, not really have to put in a lot of effort or willpower, and instead I just show up to write and thoroughly enjoy it, is I eat healthy. I work out, I read books, I resolve any looming anxiety or ideas surrounding my brain. I journal and often reflect and take walks and just sit doing nothing, letting my mind kind of wander and do its own thing. And because I do these habits, I have these writing habits that I create. For me, I always drink a little bit of coffee or some sort of tea while I write as well, so that helps me get into that flow state. Because I have these systems around my writing, I'm always performing at my best when I am writing. So you have to create systems for optimal performance at any time instead of just brute forcing your way to success through trying to just putting 100% effort at all times. Because if you do that, eventually you're going to burn out. Or eventually you'll run into a wall where, you're going to be putting in 100% effort and willpower during your workouts, but you're still not going to be having a good workout. You're still not going to be improving in the gym. You're still not going to be progressing because you don't have systems. You don't have habits that really lead to maximal performance, all right? So, for example, personally, I really don't need that much warm-up time before getting into something because I'm always operating at a pretty good mental state. Not a pretty good mental state, a pretty fucking good mental state. That no matter what, if I'm gonna, have a really good conversation with someone, or if I'm gonna do some deep writing work, or if I'm gonna write some copy, I'm always in that mindset because I meditate, because I eat healthy, because I exercise, because I read and think a lot, because I just have the habits around optimizing the work that I do, it's really easy to do that work, right? My mind is always primed to perform, whether it's an important business meeting at 11 o'clock, or a late night presentation, or a sauna conversation, or writing at 7 a.m. All right? So, what I highly recommend you guys doing is like first figuring out what is the most difficult task of the day, right? If that's your workout for you, if that's maybe you spend some time writing every morning, or you spend time reading, like figure out what's the most difficult task and orient your day around that. So that maybe before you go in to do your deep work session, before you go to sit down and write for 30 minutes or read for 30 minutes, you've already done, your morning walk in the sunlight, you've already had your cup of coffee, you've got some food in you, so you got your glucose running. You create systems and habits to perform at your best. And for me personally, like my goal is happiness. Like I truly want to be a happy, flourishing individual. The Greek idea of eudaimonia, right? The sense of flourishing. And if I want to create systems to feel like I'm progressing, to feel like I'm flourishing, to feel like I'm truly happy, then I better be, eating healthy so my mind can work. I better be meditating and meditating, reflecting, and journaling often, so my mind doesn't feel like this mess of a jumbled, scrambled egg garbage. I better be talking to people and slowing down and reading and living my life fully if I want to be performing at my best. I know I'm repeating myself in terms of creating systems and habits around the type of life you want to live, but I really think it's crucial that if you want to achieve the goals you want to achieve, you have to create the habits and the systems that lead to those goals, right? I mean, there's a great James Clear quote kind of along the lines, I don't think this is exactly how it is, but it's along these lines where we don't rise to the level of our goals, but we fall to the level of our systems, right? We don't rise to the levels of our goals, but we fall to the levels of our systems, right? Our systems determine the type of person we become. And I think a great way to do this is honestly kind of like create non-negotiable rules for the day. So for example, me personally, I have rules for the day. This isn't like, oh, I'm motivated to do this. No, like this is like, you have to do this, Armand. Like this is something part of your day. For me, that's at least 10,000 steps in. I need to get my walk. I need to get a little bit of exercise. It's also writing every single morning, right? I'm not giving myself a strict word limit and not telling myself I have to write this, I have to write this, I have to write that. It has to be a certain quality. No. I just focus on showing up at my desk and writing, getting the pen moving, getting the keys clacking. Some days I'll write 100 words, some days I'll write 1,200 words. But to me, all that matters is that I showed up at my desk and wrote. So what I recommend doing is for a lot of you guys that are trying to make changes in your life and especially create the systems that lead to the goals that you want to achieve, just make them a rule, right? No one objects to rules. No one, we're taught our entire lives to follow rules in school. For the first 18 years of our life, we're always told, follow rules, follow rules, follow rules. So create rules for yourself that, every single day, you're going to wake up and go for a 10-minute walk outside. Or every single day, you're going to wake up and read 10 pages. Or maybe you're just going to open the book and read for a few minutes. And maybe some days you'll read 30 minutes, another day you'll read 3 minutes. And that's okay. I think it's so important to have flexibility with these rules, right? No, give yourself some breathing room. Give your rules some breathing room. But just make sure that they're there, that you're doing them every single day, because that's how habits compound, right? And I know it's really difficult to see this, but the habits that you form today lead to the future you live tomorrow. I'm going to say that once more. The habits you form today lead to the future that you live tomorrow, but also the future that you live in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. If you show up every single day and you write every single day, that means you have 365 pieces of writing by the end of the year. That's incredible. Think how all of those tweets, all those blog posts, all those YouTube videos, all the content that you're creating, those are constantly getting you views, getting you impressions, getting eyes on your work, increasing your reach. they're constantly working for you. In that growth that will happen, the growth that is inevitable, it will happen, it will compound, but it requires you to show up every single day. So, once again, to recap, because I want you guys to get, instead of listening to this shit, to start doing, to start acting. Create the systems in your life that lead to optimal performance. Figure out your end goal, figure out the ideal state you want to achieve. Maybe you want to become a better writer, maybe you want to center your day around your workouts, maybe you want to center around reading a few pages, maybe simply just meditating. Center your day around that so that you're, going for your walk beforehand, you got a little bit of food in you, or maybe you intermittent fast because that makes you feel better. But you have these systems, you have this habit, this routine, because in this routine, in this discipline, that's where freedom truly lies. It's quite paradoxical to think about it, but freedom, and I say the freedom to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves, only comes when we create the routines that we set for ourselves. And we have the rules that we set for ourselves. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this is a lot. Feel free to message me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Threads. If you don't check out my Twitter, I don't know what you're doing. That is literally the highest quality shit I'm putting out. Good quality stories, great ideas and insights from Stoicism, from ancient philosophy, from virtue ethics, from Buddhism, from other spirituality and creativity ideas. A lot of ideas also in the form of stories. So if you enjoy stories, go check out my Twitter. Furthermore, ton of mental models and frameworks similar to this one that you just heard today, how to make success easy, right? Without putting in a lot of effort. A lot more mental models and ideas and frameworks on my Twitter as well. So if you aren't following that, I don't know what you're doing. Thanks so much for tuning into Lifelong Learning. Memento Mori. Stay curious. Live your dream life because you only have one fucking life. And share this with a friend, family, whoever, if you thought it was cool and someone else might benefit. And take care. Love you. You're beautiful. And stay curious. Woohoo!